disrespected yet? Does this defense have any heart?
No, they suck. I've been telling you all season, Philly.
They've shit on you. They've shit on you. Don't you hear me, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter? Like, they shit on you. They've shit on you. They have shit on you. Don't you hear me, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter? Like, they shit on you. Kill them.
Coach of the Washington
Oh my
Commanders.
goodness! Did he say they cock it on them?
New owner Josh Harris. One day after the season ended. Now, how did Quinn do in Dallas? Opposing quarterbacks had a tough time against the Cowboys over his 3 seasons as defensive coordinator. Dallas D led the league in interception percentage, sack percentage, and pressure percentage over that span. And during that same span, the Commanders ranked in the bottom half of the league in each category. So, Dan Quinn out in Dallas, head man now in Washington. Mike Tannenbaum joining us as I promised. I want to know, what do we think of this move for Washington, D. Wood?
Yeah, listen, we all know the question about they had the number two overall pick. That's probably going to be a quarterback. So it remains to be seen what the offensive staff is going to be looking like. I will say this. The one thing I like about the move is they're hurting a division rival in the Dallas Cowboys. Obviously, we saw what the work Dan Quinn did with that defensive unit since he arrived in Dallas. That's going to be a tremendous loss. And then on couple that with the fact that Mike McCarthy's in a lame duck year.
Right.
How do they get a viable defensive coordinator in on a lame duck coach?
That's a real thing, right, Mike T? If Mike McCarthy only has 1 year left, that might make it more difficult to lure a top defensive coordinator there.
You think?
Yeah, absolutely, Graz. D-Wood makes a really good point, which is when prospective defensive coordinators are coming in, they're going to want a multi-year deal, and everybody knows that Coach McCarthy is on a 1 year deal.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be a situation where somebody that's working for Mike McCarthy has a longer-term contract than he does, and that's awkward. I've been in that situation, Dan. The head coach, his agents calling saying, hey, we need an extension. We can't attract the best candidates. And the irony, this is really intriguing in terms of the NFC East. So Dan Quinn goes to Washington. That hurts Dallas. And who do you see as names to potentially replace him? Ron Rivera, the former head coach of the Commanders. Don Martindale, the former defense coordinator of the Giants. So this is really interesting how it's going to play out in the coming days.
What do you think, Kmart?
I think a lot, if you're a Commanders fan, now this is a little anticlimactic. We're the last team to get a head coach. I think you make an excellent point about taking from your rival. My question is, now I think the Commanders, in hindsight, realize we probably would have preferred to hire somebody a little sooner, because now you look at the board, it's not just who will want to come, but the pie of people who are still available now. Like, all the top OCs are right off the board. And Dan Quinn, this is a team that needs a quarterback, needs to develop one, and you want to make sure that whoever you bring in, OCDC, whatever, that they're the best guy for the job. But obviously, there aren't as many candidates available.
And the flip side, that's true for Dallas, which now needs a defense.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It doesn't have the same kind of pool to pull from. What were we going to say?
Yeah, no, I was just going back to our meeting this morning. One of the things that you're going to probably start seeing, we start seeing a lot of these NFL coaches who are in college come back to the NFL. So that's another pool that he probably could, Dan Quinn could dip into as well.
Mike T.
And Dan, just to be balanced here, we got to look at the Tampa Bay situation a year ago. Everyone thought that Todd Bowles had 1 year to go, massive salary cap, dead money. Tom Brady retires. They're not going to get anybody to coach a quarterback that they didn't even have. Baker Mayfield goes
coaching
there.
matters.
Dave Canales comes from Seattle, and the rest is history. They have a great year, win a playoff game, and now Dave Canales is an NFL head coach. So it can be done, but it's far from ideal for Dallas because it's going to be hard to get people to come there, including players, by the way, when your head coach is on a 1 year deal.
Well, that's the thing. Right. Like, I'm looking at the week that Dallas has had, right? We opened up by talking about,
oh my God, please.
Right? Like, players, family members ripping the quarterback.
Yes.
We have, Jerry Jones saying whatever he said the other day. Now you lose your defensive coordinator. At what point does this become too much for the Cowboys?
Guys, it's too much. It's too much now.
Not for you, for the Cowboys.
No, it is too much, because think about how they ended the season, how they played as the Packers. You look at that and you said, how did they go out with a whimper like that again? And then you look at, okay, that defensive performance, that offensive performance, now we lose the DC. They were trying to instill some excitement with this fan base, like, hey, guys, believe in us. We have a championship culture, except we haven't been in the NFC title game in forever. Like, when you look at the Cowboys, there are more questions than answers, and this is a team with too many veteran pieces, a veteran quarterback, a veteran head coach, where you shouldn't have these many questions heading into another season.
And I want to remind everyone what Jerry Jones has, said in his, interview down there at the Senior Bowl was that they're all in this year. Unlike previous years where they're all in this year. Yeah, they're all in this year, but now your defensive coordinator's gone. You still got Dak Prescott's contract that you got to deal with. Micah. I mean, there's a laundry list of things that they got to do.
Quick final word, Mike T.
Yeah, Jerry Jones is a smart and calculated guy. When he announces that Mike McCarthy is not getting an extension and someone like Bill Belichick is out there, after every single loss, the speculation is going to increase that an owner well into his 80s with the greatest coach of all time on the sidelines, that speculation is just going to get louder and louder during the season.
Well, hello, good people. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo and Joe Bear in the house and yada, 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 yada. Hello, good people. I don't even know what to say because, I am a positive person, okay? I am that guy that is always looking for the bright side of things. And for some reason, this is harder than usual where we are right now. And it's hard because I always want to believe, Brad Harris, I'm with you. Kellen Moore sucks. I always want to believe in the Cowboys, and I always want to look for the positivity. Every single time the Cowboys have signed players, I go out and I try and find, the best, highlight tapes of them, things that they've done that have been really good, something to hang your hat on and explain why the team picked this guy and why it'll work and why it's a good move and the ramifications from it. And all of these things, because I truly want to believe in life, I don't go into something and figure it's going to fail. And it's hitting me. I was talking to my friend Lawrence, who is a Denver Broncos fan. They wanted to go to Restaurant Depot and things, and his wife is, doing all of this great. She's got an incredible diet. I mean, she has given up meat and everything else, and she looks fantastic. And she was at Restaurant Depot buying a lot of bulk stuff, dates and spinach and all of these things and all that. And I'm cooking my stuff. She's like, oh, no, I don't do those, and I don't do those, and I do those. So if I don't do those, I can look like that. Okay, then maybe I need to consider that. But I love my sugar and sweets and all that, and that's why I look like this. But he's a Denver Bronco fan, and he's just like, I just can't deal with my team right now. We had Russell Wilson. You thought that Russell Wilson had more in the tank than what he did, but, he's on the tail end side, and we're kind of screwed because of that contract, although it's not as bad as, say, the Cleveland Browns. And he's like, we got a void of talent. He's like, it's just bad. It's hard to watch. And I started feeling like him too, because I'm sitting here thinking, remembering the curse of the NFC East, which is the team that ends up getting that first place schedule. Thanks, Clouds Coffee, but you might want to get some glasses, bro. I got on the scale today after being gone with the wife and said, I tell you how bad it is, Clouds Coffee. My daughter does YouTube, Clouds, and she does lifestyle blogs, and she's really into getting her body straight. She's working out and everything else, and she has sponsors and things, for clothes and gym, powders and all this stuff and things like that. She's getting these sponsorships from companies that literally say, you are a great person to model our clothes and to, promote health and and wellness and this, that, and the other. I'm expecting to start getting like crematories to start saying, you should be promoting cremations and stuff. And I actually got a weight loss company that got in contact with me and said, hey, you're what we're looking for. You'd be perfect to be a spokesman for us about losing weight. So you're telling me I'm fat. Okay, but I appreciate it. But back to my feelings here. I had listening to him wash over me that same feeling of despair with the Cowboys, and feeling all of the times that, like Philly 500 says, they shit on you. They have shit on you. Don't you get it? Let's play it again, because I need to see if I can get Philly 500 to say this. Don't you realize this, Mark? Jerry Jones has shit on you.
Disrespected yet?
Do you feel disrespected yet?
Have any heart?
No. They suck. I've been telling you all season, Philly.
Jerry shit on you.
Shit on you.
Jerry has shit on you. Don't you get it? Don't you understand? Jerry Jones has shit on us.
They've shit on
They have shit on us.
They have shit on you.
They have shit on us.
Don't you hear me?
Don't you hear me? Don't you get it?
Like, they shit on you.
They have shit on us over and over and over again.
Oh my goodness! Did he say they cock it on them?
Hate the style.
They literally have shit on us. And the thing is we are so stupid. Everybody's been going through this week and literally said, Jerry Jones, we going all in, man. We going all in. So I'm starting like a new series that as we go through with all the free agents, okay? I've got 2 of them out already right now. Derrick Henry, we had Swagoo, who actually wants to see the Cowboys win. This was Swagoo.
There were red zone issues last year. There was a need for a physical back. And shout out to Rico Dowdle. I thought he did a good job. Tony Pollard is not an every down back. I think we saw that this year. Derrick Henry should be a priority for the Dallas Cowboys. If you want to be a physical running football team and you want to have a big physical back in the red area to dictate what teams have to do defensively to defend you in that area of the field, this should be your call. I said it during the season. I'm going to continue to say it. Derrick Henry should be a top priority for the Dallas Cowboys if they are trying to go all in and have an opportunity to win a championship.
Tell him, Flag. So I will say this. Marcus Spears is not one of those guys that is all about TV. Marcus Spears will tell you.
Where is the right landing spot for Derrick Henry?
Jerry said he's all in. There were red zone issues last year.
Right.
There was
exactly what he feels. And what Marcus Spears walked up to a mountain of a man, might I add, and Derrick Henry last night had said, is you should go to the Dallas Cowboys. And you know what?
To his face.
I'm going to say y'all now. I don't know sign language.
What did Derrick say? What did he say?
I'm going to tell you what. I can't read
good?
lips.
It looked positive.
Okay.
I know body language, though. I know what the body language said, and the body language said, hell yeah. When I looked at Derrick Henry and when Marcus brought that up, there was nothing but smiles on his face. I'm not sure if people know this. Where does Derrick Henry live? Dallas.
Whoa!
Where does Derrick Henry train in the offseason? Dallas. Where would Derrick Henry not have to drive far to get when the season started? Dallas. And he said he would be happy to go there. So I don't know.
Whoa!
This might not be. This not tampering. I don't work for the Dallas Cowboys.
Quick moment here. We're not putting this on the bottom line, okay? We're not Adam Schefter.
Exactly what he feels. And what Marcus Spears.
Okay, so I'm trying to start to try. I listen, man. Listen, let me say, shout out to you guys. Shout out to you guys, because I am truly humbled, because we are over 81,000 of you guys. And I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. 81,000. You look shocked.
Oh, you're close to getting your plaque.
Well, shit, that's 18,000 some odd away.
I saw it was six.
Well, okay, yeah, it's growing. It's all because of you, Mike. You and your meltdown.
Oh yeah.
Okay, the meltdown of people love to see us like literally falling out, but here's the thing. I want to with the 81,000 of you guys that I have, the group that I have, and I hope that Law Nation takes the group that he has. I hope that Vosh Lombardi takes the group that he has. I hope that Game Time Brian takes the group that he has. I hope that DMV takes the group that he has. I hope that my man E2 Blue takes the group that he has. I hope the guy, my Cowboy family takes the group that he has. I hope that Simon Says takes the group that he has. I hope that the Duke Bothers takes the group that he has. I hope that the Rome takes the group that he has. I hope that Foots the King takes the group that he has. I hope that Shango takes the group that he has. I hope that West Coast Cowboy takes the group that he has. That we all, and I'm sorry if I'm not naming everybody out there, and there's so many content creators that are out there. There's so many great ones out there, that we all take every single one of our people, and we try to hold these Dallas Cowboys that are shitting on us, and bullshitting us every single year, that we hold them accountable. When you tell us some shit like we're going all in, we need to show them so they understand what the hell all in means. That doesn't mean getting rid of a Zeke Elliott and saying to Tony Pollard, who's a scat back and a part-time running back, you are now a workhorse, because you're not a workhorse. That's some bullshit, Jerry, that you done get to us. That's you shitting on us. Jerry, you bringing in an Anthony Barr after getting rid of Jalen Smith, knowing that Leighton Vander Esch has injury problems, drafting undersized guys late in the round and figuring this is good enough. That's shitting on us. When you go into a season with a great future Hall of Fame offensive tackle in Tyron Smith, that when he can play, you know he can play great, but not making a backup plan for him because you know he's going to miss time, you are shitting on us. When you have players out there who can fill a need, that actually have a desire to play for you, like a Bobby Wagner who says, I'd like to play for Dan Quinn and your team, and you don't have anybody, and you go out there and you sign Anthony Barr, you are shitting on us. When you go out there and you literally point the finger at the quarterback and say, well, we're only going to go as far as he goes, when the defense gives up over 40 points and you don't go out and get a decent running back and a good offensive line for him, you are shitting on us. Don't you get it? Don't you understand? You are literally shitting on us, the fans that are here, bigger than any fan base out there. There is nobody out there that's got them boys. There's nobody out there spending the money like we do. There's nobody out here pushing your brand like we do. And what do you do in return for the $9 billion? The $9 billion that you are worth, when you literally bought a team that was losing $2 million a month, and you gambled every nickel that you had and could have lost it. But we all of us YouTubers, all of us great fans, every single one of us made you the man that you are with all of that money. And what do you do in return? You shit on us. You lie to us. You bullshit us. That's what you're doing. And we need to keep you accountable. Philly, 500 pounds. I don't never seen you before. You can kiss my high yellow hind parts. The Cowboys were losing long before Joe Boo, bro. Long before Joe Boo. If you want to talk about somebody maybe that's jinxing them, maybe we ought to look at Rowdy, because they got him after our last Super Bowl. And you, brother, I know you ain't talking, you sorry ass Eagle fan, because you didn't have a damn voodoo doll. And what happened to you when you had everything there? You choked in the Super Bowl. You choked. And what happened to you guys? See, listen, I'll take the crap right now from the 49ers. I'll take the crap from the 49ers because you guys crapped the bed. You did. You were 10-1. 10-1. You know, when we beat Tampa Bay, you know, with Tom Brady and blew them out, we were told, oh, man, they ain't nobody. You lost to Baker Mayfield and that crew, bro. Now get your ass the hell out of here, man. This is grown people talking. Grown people talk. Run your ass back to your mama's basement. Got it? I don't know why you Eagle fans feel that you're in a position to talk some smack. You guys got Kellen Moore with your sorry ass quarterback. You're going to find out. You're going to find out. That's all I got to say. But listen, you're messing up my conversation with my people. And that is, we need to see actual results. I'm tired of hearing bullshit from Jerry saying, you know, when you're the owner of the team and you're the GM, you can't fire yourself. Why not? Why not? Fire yourself. You got enough money to pay somebody else to do the job. You got your hands in all this real estate and all these other things. You got exactly what you want. Dysfunction. You got everybody talking about you. You got everybody's eyes on you. I think it would be a lot better to have people say, my God, the Dallas Cowboys got their shit together. They took a 4th round drafted quarterback and got him to the Super Bowl and they win. They reclaimed and got Mike McCarthy to become the first coach to win a Super Bowl in 2 different places. You got 6 rings. You're only 1 behind. Then say New England. That you did it your way, that you are the greatest. See, the problem with you, Jerry, is you think that you got to have your hands on it for it to count to be a Super Bowl. No. Does anybody look and say Robert Kraft's Super Bowls don't count because he wasn't picking all the players? No, they just look at it and say they got more Super Bowls than anybody else. And it just hit me how sick I am about this. Our problems are not major problems. They're not difficult. They're not impossibilities. It's not like we are the Commanders that haven't had a quarterback or anything like that. That it's a place where careers literally go to die. The part about it that makes you so pissed off is you are so freaking close, but you won't do what the hell it takes to get there. It just makes me sick. How the hell can you look at it and say, we got a 12-5 team? If all we need is, look, if we had a running game, if we had a decent running game, our offense would have been unstoppable. Maybe if we had an extra, really good offensive lineman, not a rookie undrafted free agent, a guy who's actually got some experience. So when Tyron Smith goes down, he can fill in. He can move around. Maybe somebody that can help out while you still let Terrence Steele finish recovering from his ACL instead of him being a turnstile. The fact that your quarterback had 36 TDs and only 9 interceptions, more than anybody else this year. without a decent running game. And don't give me this shit, well, we were 14th in running the football. 14th? You think 14th is good enough to be a Super Bowl champion? Take a look, Jerry. Take a good look at how complete these teams are that are competing in the Super Bowl. Take a good look what they do on the lines. Take a good look how they control the game. And we all know when it comes to playoff time, you must run the football. As great as Micah Parsons is, now we got people out here, literally shitting on that guy, saying he's selfish. He's selfish. Dude, you know why they didn't ask you to play 2 positions? Because you weren't good enough to play 1. They didn't ask you to play tight end at an elite level and wide receiver. Now, you're literally going ahead and taking a guy who has got 14 sacks and is the only guy with double-digit ones on the team, got more pressures probably than everybody else on the team put together, and you're going to say, that guy is selfish because he's not an elite linebacker too. Are you serious? We take this stuff where people are literally shitting on us and we get pissed off at each other. We go at each other's throat and say Dak Prescott's not the answer. And Mark Holmes, you're swinging from Dak Prescott's nuts. You're just swinging. You're just a Dak Prescott lover. No, what I recognize is that Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, and those guys, the kind of guys they want for quarterbacks, let's think about it here for a second. You go through, instead of trying to get Derrick Henry, you get Trey Lance. Running back, linebacker, offensive line, defensive line is where we need help. We go out and get another quarterback. But beyond that, when we had Tony Romo, body parts falling off on the field, Jerry, the guys you wanted to get to replace them, Connor Cook, did he actually even throw a pass in the NFL? Paxton Lynch couldn't make it in. What's the damn the other leagues called?
Might as well call them minor leagues.
I can't remember. USFL. Hell, Ben DiNucci played better in the USFL than Paxton Lynch. These are the guys that, for all of you out there that are saying, trade Dak and let these guys take the draft picks and get another guy. Are you serious? Paxton Lynch, Connor Cook. Oh, and I can't forget, Jerry, instead of taking Zach Martin, he wanted to get show me the money, Johnny Manziel. Maybe he thought he could be a drinking partner. I don't know, but, Jerry, we're going all in. See, you're going to say some shit like that, and then you're going to do what you did last year, because I'm assuming that you thought that last year was going all in. Hey, we made 2 trades in the offseason. We got a former NFL MVP. Okay, who's past his prime? Stephon played good. He played good. He's a nice piece. Brandon Cooks, he was a nice piece. But that's not enough. That's not enough. What have the teams that are winning Super Bowls done? We all know. We all know what going all in looks like. Tampa Bay, they go out and they get Tom Brady. Get Tom Brady. They get Gronk with them. They get guys like Ndamukong Suh and other players. They get A.J. Brown. They go all in. Yeah, it's a risk. But what's kind of funny is a couple years later, they're back in the playoffs, and they went further than you with your long game, Jerry. We got the long game. That team won the Super Bowl a couple years ago. They lost the greatest quarterback of all time. They get a journeyman quarterback and get some help and things, and they're back in the playoffs and go further than you. We saw the Rams go out, trade for Matthew Stafford. Go out, trade for Jalen Ramsey. Go out and bring in, Von Miller and Odell Beckham Jr. before the knee injury. They win a Super Bowl. And guess what? They were back in the playoffs. And they weren't playing the long game. Those are the same guys, Steven, that you said, we don't believe that the way the Rams are building a team is the right way you build a team. Right after they won the Super Bowl. And people looked at them and said, man, they ain't going to do shit this year. Man, they ain't going to be any good. They're rebuilding. They're fire still selling shit. That's it. And here it is. They're in the playoffs. The Eagles missed it by that much. They went out there and said, hey, let's make a trade and get ourselves, a great wide receiver. A.J. Brown. We got that, right? They got A.J. Brown, okay? They got Devontae Smith. That's pretty good, okay? Our quarterback going into the season. I want you to understand, as much as I hate the Eagles, Jerry, you can learn something from the Eagles, bro. You can learn something from the Eagles. Because what they had was, going into that season that they went to the Super Bowl, they had questions whether or not Jalen Hurts was the guy. And instead of taking one of his really good running backs away, instead of not doing anything with the offensive line, they said, we're going to go out, we're going to support him, we're going to get him a good running game. We brought in a couple more running backs. We went out and got him a great receiver. We made sure the offensive line was studded, and we supported the quarterback. And they rewarded him by going all the way to the Super Bowl and getting this close to winning. And they went all in. Now, they were ass the second half of the season and just crashed and burned. But I think if we, as a Cowboys fan base, if we saw Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones go out here and say, you know what, we've been bullshitting you for all these years. We apologize. Thank you very much for making us multi-billionaires. And as a thank you to show that I'm genuine, we really are going to go all in because we want to win this, not for us. I've got 5 Super Bowl rings and everything else. I got more money than I can do anything with. I don't have to buy my wine at 7-Eleven. I just choose to because I'm cheap. And I was in a hurry. I got myself a his and her helicopter. I don't know how big my mansion is, but I can guarantee it's pretty big. I got a yacht that probably is bigger than majority of our houses put together. And because I've got all of these wonderful things, because of you guys that believe me when they say a sucker is born every minute, I'm going to finally reward you with actually trying. We are not going to wait till the last minute to try and do things. We're actually going to go ahead and actually try and do something. And I'm going to take Stephen Jones and I'm going to throw him up against the wall and lock him in a closet and let somebody else really handle this thing. Instead of having a team like the Detroit Lions call us during the draft and say, hey, we got a guy we'd like to trade with you. What do you think? I'll call you back. And then not discuss it with anybody. You, my friends, and you, and you, and you, and you all deserve better than that. And James, yeah, and herein lies why nothing changes, James. Joe Witt, of course, is going. Everything with the Cowboys is 2 steps late. You don't deal with free agency because you don't want to spend money until, the dust clears. You don't even deal with your own players before they have a chance to go in free agency. You wait until that time starts and then you try and do deals. And when you do finally do deals, after you done trashed the people and told them they need to take less or they need to, to have a team-friendly deal or we're not going to reset the market, you end up making these crazy deals because you've waited till the last minute. You have fucked the team up. Excuse my language. Not the players. Not the players. I don't blame Jalen Smith for trying to get every nickel he can, knowing that he went out there with a leg that literally, his knee ended up causing the nerve ending of his foot to have a drop foot. and literally do this. I'm not mad at him going out there. I'm not mad at any one of these players that could end up being like DeMar Hamlin, dead on the field. Not mad at that. But it's up to you, Jerry, to get these things done in a timely fashion where they feel like they are respected. We keep hearing people say they should take a team-friendly deal. Why? Why should Dak Prescott take a team-friendly deal? When he got $680,000 the first 3 years, $2 million his fourth year, and then instead of getting him a deal done, you franchise tag him. Basically put it on there, hey, if you break your leg and you can't ever play again, well, it was nice knowing you. We ain't never going to have to pay you again. You reap what you sow. When you go out here and you trash the players, don't expect them to give you any special favors. Philly 500 pounds, dude, first of all, stop insulting my good friend, okay? He's not 500 pounds. He's 495. Get it straight. And Philly 500 pounds, I'm going to say that Jalen Hurts ain't clutch either. He damn sure ain't against the Cowboys. All right, I'm getting off my bar stool. I mean, off my soapbox here. Amen. You know what, Linda, I don't know if I'll ever have a chance to meet you in life. I have to say, you are one of the most knowledgeable football fans that I have ever talked to on this channel. Overrated Hurts or not, your team will win the Super Bowl, not the quarterback. See, you know more than 95% of the people out there, because so many people will constantly just look at it and say, it's just the quarterback. It's just a quarterback. And there's nothing further than the truth. There's nothing further from the truth. You have to have a good quarterback. Let's be clear here. You have to have a good quarterback. But having a good quarterback without guys that can catch the football doesn't mean anything. You can have a good quarterback, but if you don't have an offensive line that can block for him, doesn't matter. You can have a good quarterback, but if you don't have a play caller that knows when to call the right plays at the right time. What about you, Eastside? Eastside, you shit on me too, buddy. You shit on me too. All these things matter. And the thing is it's running a gauntlet to get to the Super Bowl. You need all of these things to go right. The thing is Jerry and Stephen Jones don't give the Cowboys enough. Well, I tell you, okay, here's the thing. When I buy a tool, okay, I'm having a discussion with my wife right now. I don't know if Queen Bella is here in the house. If Queen Bella is here. Thank you, James. I appreciate that. Ladies, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ignore you. This whole thing just washed over me with emotions where I love my Dallas Cowboys and I hate the feeling that I have that they make me feel. From the street, unsubbed. Okay, sorry. From the street, you unsubbed. Okay. Appreciate you being a sub for as long as you were. Best of luck. Hope you find what you're looking for, bro. No hard feelings here. We all choose to be where we want to be, and if you don't want to be here, I'm okay with that. That's cool. My wife does the shirts, and we ended up getting not knowing when we first started looking at doing shirts and stuff. She's done some incredible shirts. We got a heat-treated vinyl cutter, which basically takes a sheet of vinyl, and the machine will cut out whatever pattern you have. And then you got to pull out all the stuff. You got to weed it all out when you do that. So when you see one of these shirts like the Cowboys Life Sentence, that is actually 2 sheets of this vinyl that have been cut out, have to be placed on there. It looks good. It's nice. But we found out there's a machine called a sublimation printer. Now, you can go out and you can get a converted printer that will do this. Instead of having to do all that weeding, it actually will print out the design in full color on a sheet that gets transferred on. There's no weeding or anything like that. Yeah, okay, right. It's a different kind of weed. Okay, it's a different kind of weeding. Okay, that's not. I Love Weed is doing a different kind of weeding than you are for the T-shirts. So this machine, you can take literally a picture and you can put it into the computer and it will print it out and you just transfer it on there. It's easy peasy. And they have a 500 series, which is 8.5 by 11. It'll print out the pieces. It's great quality. That kit is about $600 or $700. But then they have another one, their professional one, that does 12 by 17 size. It has bigger tanks for the ink and stuff in there. It will print out faster, but it's instead of like $700, it's like $1,700. And so, we could probably get the smaller one and it may do the job, but then, when you get like 2X and 3X shirts, you do a smaller print on it, it looks too tiny. You need to be able to have a bigger print. You know what I'm saying? And you may decide that you want to do something beyond that. Maybe you want to make like a flag and put something on it. So you buy more than you think you need to do for the job. You don't go in there with just enough because you never know if you lose something that you need more. And here's what the Cowboys do. If Zach Martin stays healthy, if B.A.M takes a step forward, if Terrence Steele returns to his form, and Tyler Smith ends up taking another step, and if Tyler Smith stays healthy, then we're good. That's buying the 500 grade printer. We're good. But then Tyron Smith goes out for some games. Then you got Igoda has to go in. It's not so good. Biotis goes down. Now you got a rookie you got Bell that's going in there who's got no experience. Terrence Steele never really kind of gets his footing on, although he didn't miss any time, but he probably would have benefited from maybe waiting a few more games before he had to start. And then you lose to Zach Martin. And so because you didn't make a plan or have a little bit more than what you may need, when you go against the Cardinals and you end up having to have Zach Martin's gone, Biotis is gone, and Tyron Smith is gone, and you got Terrence Steele, who's still coming back from ACL, and Tyler Smith is playing his first game, and you got two undrafted rookie free agents that are starting, you realize you should have bought the bigger printer. Crazy Corvette. What if Bill Belichick becomes the coach of the Cowboys? The problem with Bill Belichick coming the coach of the Cowboys in 2025 is he'll be another year older, and you would be probably talking about starting all over. And at this point, when you look at what Bill Belichick has done in personnel since Tom Brady went, it seems like he has gone the route of Tom Landry. We want to believe that people don't get old, that their systems don't get old. And bringing in Bill Belichick, to me, is kind of like us bringing in Anthony Barr. You're bringing in a guy who's injured in the twilight of their career to come in to do a job. We brought in, when we had just Leighton Vander Esch at linebacker, we got a hole at linebacker, we got nothing but unexperienced guys. We go out and we say, let's get Anthony Barr. He's a name people know, even though he's recovering from an ACL. He comes in training camp and doesn't do anything for us. Bill Belichick is not a long-term answer. And I know that's the problem with us as fans is we go with names we know because we've seen that guy win 7 Super Bowls. But if you pay attention to what the team has been in the last 3 years, how bad that team has been, you look at it and say, has he lost his mojo? Alan out of Wisconsin. How are you doing? Help, Miranda. To all the ladies, let me say, because I have not been taking care of stuff. I have gone off the reservation here. Help, Miranda. To all the ladies, and of course, I know Lola's up in here. Forgive me, everybody. See, here's what happened. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened was I had the most incredible time with my wife. And the thing is we really didn't do anything. We went to Myrtle Beach, okay? And I don't know if anybody's from down here in Myrtle Beach or if you live in a beach town in the off season. Ain't shit open. It's too cold to get into the water. You're not going to go out and sunbathe in 55-degree weather. Most of the stores and restaurants are closed. But just being there and spending time with my wife, reconnecting and thinking about the 20 years that we've been together. Lola, come on now, Lola. See, you just raw, Lola. Lola.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
There we go. I will not comment on that situation, okay? It was just nice to just, we went for walks on the boardwalk and everything else, and, walked on the beach. We got our exercise in. We went to the New York steakhouse that's there, had a nice meal. We had some incredible pizza. We didn't do anything that was spectacular, but I realized how much fun and how happy life can be. And then as I'm going up the road, and you hear Dan Quinn becomes the head coach of the Commanders, and we hear, Joe Witt's going to be going with them and everything else. I went from the highest of highs of a woman that I have now known for 40 years and have been married to for 20, that we have built an incredible life together, and it was just incredible. Major love in my life, and I've got lots of loves. I got my kids, I've got my business, and woodworking and the red brick house, all these wonderful things. And then I get here with another thing that I truly love, and it's a shit show. It literally is a shit show. It causes so much pain in my life. And I hear, we're going all in and everything else. And we're all going to go as far as Dak. You sit there. The one thing, this is what pisses me off more than that. It's the beach enough said. But here's the thing that's so crazy about this. When I hear everybody saying, let's trade Micah Parsons. Let's just get rid of Micah Parsons, man. He's selfish. Okay. Get rid of Dan Quinn, man. He sucks. Y'all don't remember what it was like with Mike Nolan, do you? Y'all don't remember that, do you? Y'all got a really short memory. You mean, let me see if I get this straight. Let's get rid of the best pieces we have because y'all are mad we lost in the playoffs. Let's just cut Dak. Let's just cut Dak. No, we'll trade Dak and we'll grab one of them first round quarterbacks because they always win. We'll get like a Josh Rosen or a Paxton. We'll get those guys in the first round, man. You got to get a first round quarterback, man, because they're all great. Let's do that. Let's get rid of CeeDee Lamb because, he checked out. He checked out, man. We'll just go ahead and draft him. We'll get another guy. Okay. See the Eagles when it comes to drafting first-round wide receivers. 49er fans, shut the fuck up and go take your Super Bowl and go home. Get out of here. I'm not talking to you guys. No, 49er fan. See, this is the bullshit. This is the naivety of you guys that don't actually understand football. I'm sorry. You guys are a fucking loaded offense. You're a fucking loaded defense. When you have an idiot an idiot wide receiver of ours say that Micah Parsons is selfish, that he's not like Fred Warner, take a look at what Fred Warner's got in front of him. Take a look. Nick Bosa, Chase Young and Randy Gregory, Armstead, Hargrave. That's kind of like, he ain't got to be. Listen, with those guys up front, he can roam unmolested. Now, we're sitting here saying, well, Micah Parsons isn't playing like Fred Warner. You take Micah Parsons off the line, you ain't got anything like that in front of him. We are literally saying the best player we have on defense, it's his fault because he's selfish. Jesse Holley, what the fuck are you smoking? I mean,
cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Seriously. I'm sitting here like, and I'm not going to say that Micah had a great game because nobody did. The coaching staff, not even the ball boy had a good game. For whatever reason, this team is never ready for the playoffs. And since it is a every year thing, I can't look and point and say it's just Micah Parsons and it's just Dak Prescott, because it's the Dallas Cowboys that have been doing it for 29 years. Derrick Henry, 50-50, he's going to work or bust. I love Weed. I agree with you on that one because it could end up being like, Eddie George. Although he still had 1,189 yards on a bad team, 4.2 yard per average carry. He has been nicked up and stuff in his career. But you know what? I'd take a flyer on him. I don't think it's going to cost you like it did Tony Pollard. See, Xavier Del Rio, sorry, bro. Sorry. Not getting away with that one. Not getting away. How can he speak facts where Micah Parsons is selfish because he's not studying two positions to be great at? How about you go out, instead of saying, Micah Parsons, we need you to be our best edge rusher out here, and when we need you to be our best linebacker too. How about you go ahead and say, Micah Parsons, we need you to be the best edge rusher or linebacker, and we'll get another guy who's special to do the other spot. See, that's the damn problem. That's the problem. Everybody wants it easy freaking out, and it's just, at some point, you just get tired of it. The Cowboys defense actually played better when you start thinking about having safeties. How should Dan feel now? We're going all in. Well, Forever Fashion Runway, I appreciate the super chat. Game Time Brian, I hope you're still here. Here's the thing that do you really believe Jerry Jones? Do you really believe Jerry Jones? I don't. Let me do this. Let me show you. This is. I
feel like I progressed a lot. I just feel.
This is the difference, and this is where people don't seem to understand. I had Demario Davis sat right here, about 5 or 6 years ago. Okay, Demario Davis, and I went to Brian Brodus, and I texted him the hell out of him. Brian, if there's any guy we need to get, it's this guy. It's this guy right here. He's like, man, I ain't got that kind of pull. They're not going to listen to me. And I'm like, dude, it's what we need at linebacker. That guy gets 110, 115 tackles every year. 3 to 6 sacks. Plays downhill. I want you guys to watch this, okay? Because when I say all in, this is getting a guy like this to play linebacker. And I'm going to ask, this is an honest question for all those out there that want to kill Micah Parsons. Everybody wants to kill Dan Quinn. Take a look at this. I hope you guys can see this well enough. But watch what a linebacker does for you, okay? He gets guys and stops them. He doesn't get carried down the field. Patrick Queen is 6 foot, 230 pounds, and when he comes to get you, look at this. That's a sack. That's a sack. That's your middle linebacker right there. He can take the ball away. He sacks. He can tackle. Short yardage. He's going to drive the guy back, not carried down the field. And see, all of you guys are talking about how much our defense, we can't stop the run. You can't stop the run with the safety, a guy who might be about 210, 215 pounds. That's light in the ass. You need some beef in there. If Jerry is serious about going all in, you're getting guys like this that are proven, not ones that are injured coming off an injury. Patrick Queen, second team All-Pro, 122 tackles, I think, on the season, 3 interceptions. This is what I mean about being all in. And if Jerry Jones isn't looking at getting some guys like this, then he's just bullshitting and shitting on us again. We should draft Jeremiah. I got no problem with that. But here's the problem that we do have. You do need to mix the good players in the draft with veteran talent. See, we don't have anybody that's out there, because this is where me and Lawrence talked a lot tonight. But talking about CeeDee Lamb, I don't know if you guys really realize this with CD. CD is a lot like Amari Cooper. Incredible talent. When he's on, my God, he's on. But from time to time, they just check out. And it always seems at the worst time when they're checking out. You see, look at that. You see what that my man's doing? Mike Aldana, you are 100% right. You have to spend money to get quality. And this is what I'm talking about. Are you telling me that we had guys that could fly around as the linebackers on our team like this? Are you honestly going to tell me that? Look at that. Look at that. You put a guy like that with Micah Parsons coming off the edge, you're going to stop the run, and you are going to be getting the quarterback. Constant pressure. Look at that. Look at that. Boom. He's grabbing. He ain't letting you go. Short yardage. Boom. Look at that. See, this is what I'm talking about that we need. People will go through, they'll tell me, oh, you're just full of shit. You had so much talent. You ain't seen no talent like this at linebacker. Even when Leighton Vander Esch was healthy, you didn't see a guy like this. Look at this. Beating on, look at that. Come on, man. That's what I'm talking about when I say this is what all in looks like. And forgive me, I went completely off script tonight with what I was going to talk about. But I'm flustered, man. I am flustered. And I have such a love for this team that I have given everything. I have given everything to this team. And I need them to give some back. Sean, true, his offensive line was not good, but Jamar Chase, it's a different level than CeeDee Lamb. He didn't have CeeDee Lamb. He didn't have his guy checking out on him in the playoffs. He just didn't. He didn't have his defense giving up 41 points. He didn't. You know, and Sean, I don't recognize seeing you here on here, and that's cool. That's cool. What I'm going to say is a game manager that gets 36 TDs and only 9 interceptions, the best thing you do is surround him with talent. If you don't believe that, if you're saying he's just a game manager, then do what the Eagles did. the Eagles said, we don't know if Jalen Hurts is that guy or not. So let's get him a great receiver. Let's take care of the offensive line. Let's get him a running game. I got no problem with that. Neither should you. You want to turn around and say, we'll just get rid of that guy. For who? For who? Who are you going to be able to bring in here right now, especially since you owe him $59 million? Is your solution we just cut that guy now, take the $59 million hit, get nothing in return, and we'll just put who? Trey Lance? Okay, sure. That's it. That's it. And this is where I went from the highest of highs of being with my beautiful wife of 20 years and having a great time, and I come back to a cesspool where we are all sitting here fighting at each other about CeeDee Lamb, about Micah Parsons, about Dak Prescott, when it's really Jerry and Stephen Jones that we should be fighting. We should be teaming up and holding accountable for the problems on here. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So with that being said, you guys have listened to me whine, bitch, and moan and literally get pissed off at the Dallas Cowboys. But I hope that maybe, just maybe, if all of us, YouTubers and fans, keep it up, we will force Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones's hand to do something more than what they have. Shauna, 8771. Let me ask you this. Do you know what Zeke Elliott's done in the playoffs for the Cowboys? Do you know what CeeDee Lamb's done in the playoffs for the Cowboys? Do you know what DeMarcus Lawrence has done for the Cowboys in the playoffs? I'm going to go ahead and let me see if I can do them right off the top of my head. CeeDee Lamb in 4 playoff games, 1 TD pass. Zeke Elliott in his 6 playoff games with the Cowboys has had 2 TDs and averaged 62 yards, which is kind of skewed because his first playoff game against the Green Bay Packers, he got like 121 yards. When you go through like last year where he had 26 and the year before I think he had 29, you can say that Zeke Elliott didn't exactly have the best of games. If you take D-Law, who's had, I believe, 7 playoff games for the Cowboys and has 2 sacks. When you take Micah Parsons, who's had 4 playoff games and has 1 sack, I can't believe I can't say that Dak Prescott has had an incredible playoff career, although he did have a really great one against Green Bay. He had a good one against the Seattle Seahawks. He had a good one against Tampa Bay. I'm not saying that he's played on the upper echelon, but you can't look and say that anybody on the team has played well when it comes to playoffs. You can't. You can't. Your top paid players, none of them show off in the playoffs. You can get rid of Dak, but if CD plays the same way, if DeMarcus Lawrence plays the same way, if Micah Parsons plays the same way, you're going to have the same results. Just are. There you go. And that's why I just feel pissed off tonight. Because they literally just shit on you. Good night, people.
Does this defense have any heart?
No, they suck. I've been telling you all season, Philly.
Shit on you. They've shit on you. Don't you hear me, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter? It's like they shit on you. They've shit on you. They have shit on you. Don't you hear me, Jordan Davis?